Alright, Muriye Zimbabwe. Welcome back. Pamzinda wevanhu nenwenyu Super Nexus. So I'm very sorry. We promised it every day na 7. But today pane tuma things twandibata toita kuti tisapana nama updates akakosha kudai so na 7. So what is happening right now Muriye Zimbabwe? Ndezvekuti isusu tine zvinhu zvakawanda zviri kuitika right now chokuti ndikuda kuti tiupdateane tinzwisisane kuti what is going on. So Muriye Zimbabwe, tiripo pamzinda wevanhu kudai so let me get into the interesting stories that build up topic yetutakuudzai kuti right now momentum 31 July has gained massive momentum, crazy momentum. So it's happening. Let me first show you this right here.
Iwe uri kuzoganda kurisa vana vako first. Unoda kuti mwana wamai aende kumberi. Burisa vako vana tigovaona vazhinji vacho vanobva vanononwisa vana vedu zvinodhaka. But president vari kuti pasi nezvinodhaka. Hapana achabuda hanzi muswani 31. Anoda kusashanda basa rake ndiani uchisoreta zvinhu zvisina basa.
Right, Muriye Zimbabwe. Muri kumunzwa mukadzi we. Now, this is a big sign ye-panic iri mukati me-ZANU-PF nenyaya 31. So 31 just gained a massive momentum. You see, the people who are pushing 31 July as of right now is no longer only one Douglas Monzora. It's no longer only one Love Moma Duku and Tendai Bit, the Zimbabweans, my YouTube channels, my Facebook pages. No, it's ZANU-PF itself because they are so scared of it. They are talking about it. They are reminding people about it. They are pushing it, and it's going to happen. So, Muriye Zimbabwe, takakuudzai panapa pamzinda wevanhu neni Super Nexus ndikaudza kuti the thing ndechekuti this 31 July thing haisi yekungoti iri kungosupportwa nema-citizens chete, but it's supported by Chiwenga and the military faction. So these guys are behind it. This is the action yamakaudzwa nezvayo yamakanzwa vana comrade Knox Chiwero vachitaura nezvayo. This is the action. Now let's regai timbonzwa mukomana Tagre. First of all, let's read the caption yaiswa na BBC Zimbabwe. Checkpoint. What is he saying? Don't you think Tagre should stay away from the mic? Because every time he opens his mouth, the more he loses it. Now let's hear what Zhizh ari kuruza.
President Manyama. Because the president vedu anogona.
President Manyama.
Tiri kuzoona mambosvika here pamabhuku apo. Pava neimwe Trabablas number 2. Iri kugadzirwa ipapo pamasasa apo pane imwe ichauya. Kubhorodhero uko kune imwe iri kuuya. Mvura iri kuuya ichibva kudhamu uko. City yedu mvura inenge yakubuda pamatepu. Takubvisa mabhoho, takuisa matepu. President vano
Yeah, chiro tikapoza. Hazvisina basa. Wataura mamunzwa. Anzi, you see, isusu chinobhora ndechekupromiswa chinhu 1 nevanhu who've been in power for 46 years. It doesn't make sense, Muriye Zimbabwe. You really mean after 46 years, you are telling me kuti iko zvino izvi mvura ichabuda pamatepu? Alright, let's talk about Mnangagwa as an individual. After how many years? After it's what, 9 years, 7 years, 8 years, uri in power, but 2017, and uri in power, it's 9 years now. And then you still promising us, hey, mvura ichabuda iko zvino iwe, wangu, mvura ichabuda iko zvino izvi. How about Ngwade say, what was happening? Why are you promising us these things now? It doesn't make sense. So Tagre ari kungotaura zvaari kutaura achizama kukuzawo president, but you can see that he is running out of hope. is running out of words or ideas dzekuti aite bootlick zvirova kuti ari kuperegwa because there is nothing good enough chekuti you can praise handed about Mnangagwa, nothing. So now let's get to this one muri Zimbabwe. The retired General Winston Gauke Mapranga vataura something, but mirai ndimboona one thing I want to check right here ndisati ndapinda munyaya ya retired general. Regai ndigadziri said this thing muri Zimbabwe, this thing kana kuti tozozviona after mirai just 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. That's it. So it might not happen now, but now let's get into nyaya iri kutaurwa panapa ina retired general Winston Gauke Mapranga. First of all, yapostwa manje at 5:55 konzvinezvi kuma 9 tapuma 9. So nyaya iyi hanzi hatizoverenga yose, but let's just get a brief. I already read it, so ndoda kuzokudza kuti what is happening. So in all he is talking about hanzi kangoma kakuririsa. I have set in enough command briefings to know what silence means when it settles over an institution. It is not peace, it is arithmetic being done quietly by people who have not yet agreed to keep 3 madness or say the answer out loud. Now, that is a very loaded, important statement. Now, let me unpack it for you. And it is not peace. First of all, Hans, it is not peace. Zvamuri kuona imi muchiti vana vice president Chiwenga vanyarara, ma generals azonyarara. Hans, it is not peace. It is arithmetic being done quietly. Imets dziri kuitwa in silence. And by people who have not yet agreed no to keep 3 madness or say the answer out loud. Crowd team race risiri kubvumira ne keep 3 riri kuita quiet. My arithmetic maths dzakanyaragwa haisi peace. Zvinoti Mnangagwa is far away kunzi hanzi akawina. Hanzi the Cap 3 conversation dressed however it likes to be addressed, to be dressed, has reopened a debate older than its own name. The question of who is owed the next chapter and who is simply occupying the chair until someone with a stronger claim sits down. Institutions like ZANU-PF do not announce succession anxiety through statements. They announce it through sitting chats, through whose name is read first at provincial gatherings and whose endorsement arrives a week late, if it arrives at all. I've watched this choreograph before. I know what it means when the tempo changes. There is a pattern reasserting itself that anyone with command experience will recognize, a quite gravitational pull toward figures with liberation credentials and structural discipline against a newer class whose standing rests on capital and access rather than mandate and in the field or in the party's own structures. So, and this is very important because, you know, Kunzanzi, where you have war credentials, it's still something big in Zimbabwe. We respect it, but you know, the ability to govern, the ability to run businesses and companies and build an economy don't really rely on the credentials of you being a war veteran, you know. You are also good when it comes to business. So General Trukunzwai, we agree with you, but we are just, we agree with you when it comes to what you said about structures, structural discipline. Structural discipline, it's making sure that everybody who is holding a position in a structured political party like ZANU-PF or a structured government like the Zimbabwean government, right? To keep structured discipline, it means whatever we agreed on paper, which is the constitution, the leader who is going to be the president of Zimbabwe is going to stay in that position for 5 years, and then after that there is going to be votes, and if he or she is voted back into office, they can only hold the office for other 5 years, and after that they have to step off. That structural discipline iri kutaurwa nageneral, and I agree with that. So right, gaitipedzi general pane zvakawanda zvinotaura gaitipedzi hanzi this is not new terrain in our politics, it is old terrain and it is being walked again. What is different this time is that the discomfort is no longer fully contained. Quite arithmetic leaks once enough people independently arrive at the same uncomfortable total. When that happens, the only question left is whether the recalculation is managed from within or contested out in the open where it cannot be controlled. I do not deal in rumor, I deal in patterns, and this one I have seen before. Kango Makabe Kuriris, retired Lieutenant General Winston Sigauke Mapranga, right? Kanzi Kango Makabe Kuriris, vices photo Rachiwenga Garoa Mabimbo. But anyway, this is what is happening. And it's quite interesting. Now, let's get into the Harare-London route restored. Right, so it's Ruit Kapa Newsday. Ndo pandenya iya tutora. So, after what 14 years, pasina ndege inobva mu Harare ichinda ku London, Britain. Inobva mu London, Britain ichiuya mu Harare. Right now, this route has been restored. As of today, Muswe Monday, this route has been restored. So this is a beautiful thing, it's something to celebrate. But Newsday report panapa kuti Zimbabweans have celebrated this comeback by giving Air Zimbabwe 1,479 confirmed passenger bookings and more than 30 tons of cargo before relaunching direct flights to London, ending Zimbabwe's flagship carrier its first measurable commercial endorsement 14 years after abandoning the route. So, this is very important because there's a lot of business happening in London, in Britain, and it makes those business deals, those whatever, become easier if there's a direct flight from Harare to Britain. So this is development, Isus, we acknowledge development. We love development, but we are saying the pace is too slow. It's like by the time amozogona kubudisa vanhu pa ndozo pa ndazwa pa joza pa South Africa anditi kuti vanhu vari paZimbabwe edu ari pa South Africa adzoke anditi muno munyika, it will take 50 years and that's not acceptable, you understand? So we want to move faster. That's it. So, I'm going to close this live broadcast here. And the reason why we're going to close it here, so I'm only seeing now, maybe you guys were actually not seeing folks, or actually you were. So, I'm going to close this broadcast here, for the reason, it was supposed to be at 7, but don't worry, mangwana at 7 Maneru tune in into Super Nexus because takachinja kubva kuMutapa Times. Amboti Mutapa Times pana mwaka wakati aiwa